Welcome everyone. Welcome to another Tech Tuesday. We skipped the last one because it was a holiday week. So this is the 13th one. Um, let's see, it looks like someone already has a question. Ooh. Oh, that was you, Misty. Awesome. My name is Karamoko, Coach Kane. I will be hosting this Tech Tuesday, and throughout this meeting, you will be seeing if you need to get in touch with me, have questions afterwards, or just need my contact info for any reason, they're going to be on the slides now and then. Feel free to always ask me or drop questions in the chat asking me for that if you do need to get that information. So at the start of all these meetings, I always show this. If you do want to receive email notifications, text notifications about all these meetings that we have, what the topics we'll be talking about are ahead of time, or if you want recaps of the meetings we do have, or you would like to receive cool agent tips or software tips that I send out weekly, you can scan this QR code with your phone, or you can click the link I am about to put in the chat so that you can enroll into that. Or you can also email me and I will sign you up to that manually. So let me drop that link on here right now for you. And I think 95% of you guys already signed up, but we get new people all the time. So I want to make sure everyone is aware of that. So we'll copy the link and I will put that in the chat. Awesome. So link in the chat. All right. So like I said, scan the QR code, click in the link in the chat, or email me. My email's right here, and you will see it throughout some of the other slides. Or you can always ask me or Frank. All right. So like all meetings, these are recorded, so you can always rewatch them. And by signing up to the link I posted in the chat, I will send you an email whenever there are new meetings up on YouTube. You can also participate in these meetings by answering questions through polls I will be, putting up on the screen. So if you're on your phone, or actually, yeah, on your phone and your computer, these should pop up and you can engage and kind of give me feedback as far as the whatever question it is I'm asking, or anything you need to make me aware of. You can interrupt me anytime, just unmute your mic and go ahead and talk, or you can leave questions in the chat. I'll check that periodically. Or you can also raise your hand, whatever works for you. Okay. So let's see what poll I have today. I think I know what everyone's gonna answer here. But coffee or tea? I'm a tea person. I never could really. Oh wait, actually tea is getting a lot of responses here. I don't know, coffee just makes me go to sleep. It has the opposite effect it's supposed to have. But I know a lot of people swear by their coffee in the morning. Oh man, it looks like tea is actually winning. Okay, I'm gonna give it 5 more seconds. All right. Awesome. Okay. So it's like 60% of us prefer tea over coffee. That's actually surprising to me because I know everyone's into coffee every day. Interesting. All right. So let's get on to today's topic. Let me close out of this. So yes, well, not yesterday. The last Tech Tuesday we had, we talked about the new KvCORE app that they made available to us through this company called 360 Home. And a bunch of you guys had trouble setting this up. And And there is nothing you can do on your end to fix that issue. So basically you would scan this QR code that would take you to the App Store or the Google Play Store so that you can download the KvCORE, well, 360 Home app. But it was not branded to you. You were not able to see yourself. So to go ahead and fix that, I will show you how to get in touch with the support. They are the ones who are able to fix that up for you and on the back end. But for those of us who had issues last time, I think it was quite a bunch of us actually that had that problem. A few of you guys reached out to me, and through the help of the chat support, they were able to fix it in no time. So this app is free. It requires no type of setup on your end whatsoever. It's as long as you have KvCORE and you have your login to it, that app is ready for you to go. So there's no reason why we shouldn't at least take a look and start making your contacts aware of this, because everyone's on their phones nowadays. So you want to make sure you're available to all of your contacts in any way, shape, or form at all times. So do take a look at that KvCORE app if you have time, if and when you have time. So we also talked about social media posts examples, social media posts you could do. That was a fun meeting. But today we are going to be talking about what you should be doing right after you get your contacts uploaded to KvCORE. Because I know KvCORE can be an overwhelming program. There's so many different features and it's very easy to get lost and not even know where to get started. So today I want to just show you like next steps. So once you've uploaded those contacts into KvCORE, hopefully most of us have imported our contacts. I actually made a poll to kind of gauge how many of us did that or not. So let me launch that poll right now. And if a lot of you guys do not have them uploaded, I'll quickly go through that. And if you need more support on that, you can get in touch with me with a one-on-one, or we can do a whole other meeting at some point for that. So you can get started with that. Let's see. All right, so here is the poll. So go ahead and answer this. This will give me an idea of who has this set up already. And maybe we might revisit that today. Welcome, Janine. If you have a question, raise your hand at any point, or don't forget to mute your mic. Looks like you might be unmuted. All right. So it looks like most of us have our KvCORE set up. Some of us maybe not. All right, more people joining. Welcome, Dietra. I hope I said your name properly. So sorry. Welcome, welcome. I'm gonna give it 5 to 10 more seconds here. Want to make sure everyone gets to answer this so we can get started on that. All right. Okay, so actually a majority of you guys do not have your contacts, or at least all of your contacts, imported into KvCORE, but you do have KvCORE set up. Okay, so I will briefly go through importing the contacts in addition to today's topic. It all kind of ties together anyway. So let's get started. All right, so we're gonna get started with the playbooks. Okay, so playbooks are, I think, a great way to get started with KvCORE right after uploading those contacts. And it works out because you can upload your contacts through the playbook section of KvCORE. Okay, so we are going to go to KvCORE right here. And once you log in, you get greeted with your dashboard right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the playbook section, which is located right here. It has this little icon. And if you don't see that, it's most likely because that section is collapsed. So just click on the 3 bars up top to the top left of your screen, and it'll open this up, and then you can access playbooks. Okay. Another way to access playbooks is also through the dashboard. Once you're here, you have a playbook section in the middle column right here. Okay, it'll say playbooks, and you can choose the playbook you want. So I'm just gonna click playbooks right here, and it'll open up the screen with all of the different playbooks you can open up and kind of play around with. So basically, in a few words, what is a playbook? So a playbook is a way to simplify and automate the best practices of everyday activities using KvCORE. It'll give you a way to organize your leads into different categories: first-time home buyers, sphere of influence, active leads, or simple leads, closed. So it gives you a way it simplifies that process for you to categorize your leads. It also can aid you in automating all your marketing. So it has a section in there that helps you send out listing alerts, property alerts, market reports. Let's see more people coming in. Welcome, Jeanette. So yeah, it has a really nice interface that lets you quickly add, or get marketing material sent out to all of your leads that you categorize. So that could be market reports, listing alerts. It could be social media posts even. You can also dial leads that have, oh man, more people coming in. All right. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, you could do a bunch of automated stuff on there. We'll go through that in just a second. And something I really like is it gives you data as far as how many people you're importing, what's the delivery rate of all the marketing material you're sending out. So it'll tell you you've sent out 10 messages, 7 have responded, 2 ended up being leads, etc. It'll give you all that nice data as well. Let's see here. Okay, welcome guys. Got more people joining. Don't forget to mute yourselves, guys, if you don't have a question. All right. Okay. So if you have a question, just raise your hand or unmute and then talk. Thank you so much. All right. So that is what a playbook is. So like I said, to access playbooks, you can do so from the dashboard right here and then click view all playbooks, or you can just go directly to playbooks. So I'm going to click on playbooks, and we're going to get started with gather your sphere. So I've talked about playbooks before. I'm just doing it again in a much more detailed and hopefully simpler way so that you guys can be masters of playbooks by the end of this meeting. So moving forward, I'm not going to bombard you guys with 3 different things. I'm just going to stick to one thing and make sure you guys fully understand that. And after or right when you get KvCORE set up for yourself, I encourage you guys to check out the playbooks. So we'll go through importing our contacts. I'll be very brief in doing so, and I will leave a link in the chat to watch the full video of where I actually upload my contacts if you need more help with that. Okay. Do we have a question? Let's see. All right. Thank you so much. So yeah, I will make sure to leave a link so that you guys can rewatch that video. And I've had a lot of people utilize the link that I have. I have a button in my emails that I send you guys to book a one-on-one. A lot of you guys have been utilizing that, and I've had great interactions with you guys and helped you in all the ways that I could. So I encourage you to use that. Cost nothing. We can set up some time and do a one-on-one with whatever area of KvCORE you're struggling with or need more help with. Okay, including what we're talking about today. But without further ado, so we're gonna start with the Gather Your Sphere playbook. We'll do both of these today. They kind of work together, so it's like one thing. So the Gather Your Sphere playbook is, like the name says, it helps you gather your sphere of influence. And not just that, but that's what it's designed for. You can pull all your contacts in through this playbook. Okay, so once you click on it, you'll get this window, and it kind of gives you quick overview of what it's about. So it helps you get your contacts into KvCORE. Okay, got more people joining. Man, tonight's a popular night. Okay, welcome, Jose. So yeah, it'll help you get your... I
blasted you on our leadership chat.
Oh, maybe that's why. Thank you, Jamie. All right, well, the more the merrier. Everyone's gonna learn something today, hopefully. So this will help you get your contacts into KvCORE. It will help capture and categorize everyone that you do import, like I said previously, by their status. They could be just sphere, they could be prospect, leads, etc. And it'll help you set up alerts and automated marketing messages for them. So we're gonna open this playbook by clicking the green button up here. And then it's going to open up the screen for you right here. Okay, so don't be scared. I know there's a lot going on the screen right now, but we're gonna go through this step by step. So once you click on the open playbook, you'll get this screen, and it'll take you through step by step all of the plays, it calls it. So on the left hand side right here, I'm gonna open up all of these sections so we can take a look at all of them. Okay. Welcome, Des. Welcome. So on the left hand side, like I said, everywhere, all these little sections, we call them plays. So through each of these sections, you can perform different actions, whether that be importing your contacts, capturing your social media contacts, creating sphere hashtags, meaning categorizing your contacts into the different groups I mentioned, move the contacts you do add into those respective groups. You can set up, contact behavior alerts. What that means is you can tell KvCORE, based on the action someone takes on your website or based on your interactions you have with them, it will automatically know to send them specific messages based on that. And we'll touch on that right now. Hopefully that probably didn't make sense. And you can also send messages from here, and the last one we'll get to also. So by default, you'll get started with the import your sphere contacts. So this is where you actually import your contacts into KvCORE. Okay, so most of us will probably have 99% of all our contacts on our phone to get started, unless you use third-party software or another CRM that you're maybe migrating from and now to KvCORE. But for most of us, I think it's safe to say most of us have all our contacts onto our phones. And I made a few videos showing you how to actually export your phone contacts to KvCORE, this one being one of them. So I'm going to copy and paste this in the chat, and I'll also send out an email with this later for whoever needs that. But there are ways to export your phone contacts into an Excel spreadsheet or a CSV file. Let me paste this in the chat very quickly. All right. And I have done these also through one-on-ones. I can walk you through step by step through a one-on-one on exporting your contacts if you're having any difficulties with that. But that video explains that in itself can be a 30 to 45 minute talk, but it's not difficult. There's just many steps you need to take, many easy steps. Okay, but once you do have that spreadsheet, it can be an Excel file or a CSV file, all done through the application. You just download it from the App Store or the Google Play Store. And that video I put on the chat walks you through step by step how I export those so that you can get that file. Okay, but once you have that Excel spreadsheet, let me show you an example of what one looks like. I have one open up here. So I downloaded this sample file that just kind of shows you how it's formatted. Okay, so you're just gonna have a first name, last name, address. You don't even have to have all of these. Whatever fields you don't have is okay. All you need is a first name and a phone number at the very least. Okay, so make sure you have it structured this way. And then you will be ready to upload this into KvCORE and start nurturing those leads. Okay, so you just need a file, an Excel spreadsheet or a CSV file preferably, because those are a little bit smaller. Excel files are much heavier, so you might have trouble uploading those based on how many contacts you have. So once you do have that spreadsheet and you're ready to import your contacts into KvCORE, we're going to press Get Started right here once we open up this Play. So we're going to do the Do It Yourself because we have our own file. Whether you let KvCORE handle it, they will still require you to have that spreadsheet with all your contacts. So if you don't have many, you could get this done maybe even faster typing them in individually on KvCORE. Maybe you have 15, 20 contacts you want to import. Some people don't want to import all their phone contacts, and that's fine. So you can do those manually too, and I'll touch on that after we get through this. But I'm going to click Get Started, and it'll open a window through which you can upload that file up here. Okay, so I'm going to click Browse Files, and I'm going to choose that spreadsheet with my contacts in it, and I'm going to press Upload, and there it is. Once you upload your contacts, you'll get a preview of your contacts just to confirm that it actually went through. Okay, all of these are fake contacts here. This is just a sample I got just in case you guys needed me to show you this. So it'll show you a preview. There's about 15 contacts and such columns. So I'll click Next. And on this screen right here, it will basically, this section just is asking you to match you're basically telling KvCORE what column is what. Okay, so KvCORE might not automatically know that the first name column is actually the person's first name. So you could go through this section and actually correct KvCORE if it's got the wrong information in the wrong column, or add if it doesn't recognize a certain column. And all of these different fields you see down here are all the fields KvCORE recognizes. So it knows birthdays, the title, email, etc. All of these. So the more info you have, the more you can plug in here and the more info you have to market with. But if you only have a first name, last name, email, and phone number, that's also fine. So it'll tell you how many columns are in your spreadsheet versus how many KvCORE was actually able to recognize and match. So it looks like KvCORE only recognized the first name, last name, and email columns, but I have much more than that. So because I also have a cell phone, which it didn't recognize, what we're going to do is we're going to click on the cell phone. You can do each of these. If you have a work phone, home phone, cell phone, and all those different kinds of numbers, you have columns for all those. But I only have a primary phone and a secondary phone. So under cell phone 1, I'm going to scroll through here. So these results right here are basically the different columns you have on your spreadsheet. So when you click on any of these boxes, the drop down you see corresponds to all of the different columns you have on that spreadsheet. Okay, so because we're trying to find the cell phone column, we're going to go under cell phone and we're going to scroll down and find that column. So it looks like on my spreadsheet it's called phone, and there's also one that's called phone 1. So maybe on cell phone 1 I'm going to put phone 1, And in cell phone 2, we're going to attribute that to phone. Okay. And if I go back to that spreadsheet, just so you guys can visualize what I just did there, I'll open this up. So on my spreadsheet, look how it's, named phone 1 under the first column and then phone on the second one. So that's what KvCORE is asking you here. So what should we put under the cell phone category? And I chose phone 1 for cell phone 1 and then phone for cell phone 2. Okay, your columns might be named differently, so it might not look exactly like this. So I want to be sure that you know what you're looking at here. So if on your spreadsheet it says cellular device, so on the column right here it'll say cellular device, and you can attribute that right here. Okay, so that is that. And you can scroll through each of these. I have addresses on my spreadsheet, so I'll just choose the appropriate column. So primary address, like so. City, we have city, state, boom, zip right here. And I don't have a secondary address. Also, do not forget to fill in these 2 columns. So what is the primary call phone for calls? So this column refers to what number do you want KvCORE to use to call these leads if you need to reach out to them. So maybe I would like cell phone 1 to be the primary number KvCORE uses. So we'll go under here, and that's exactly what I'm going to choose, phone 1. Okay, but if I wanted it to be cell phone 2, I could just choose that also. You have the same one for SMS, so text messaging. What number do I want KvCORE to use to send text messages if I need to? Still, I want the primary cell phone, so cell phone 1, to be the one KvCORE uses. So we're going to choose the same thing. Okay. So once you have all of the information filled out, and it's okay to leave stuff blank because you probably don't have all this information on everyone. So whatever you put on here is what it is. As you can see, all of my columns were matched, and it'll show you. So it says unmatched fields county, because if I go to my spreadsheet, there's a field here that says county that KvCORE doesn't know. But we don't need to worry about that because I don't need this information on there because I already have their address. Okay, that's all that means. But once you fill out everything you do have on your spreadsheet, you are clear to press next right here. Okay, and then once you press next, you see this section right here.
Question.
Yeah, what is it?
Let's say you do need that. What do you do in that case?
What's that? The county?
The count. Yeah, let's say you need whatever comes up on that section, you need it. How do you, what's the next step?
So if you do need the county, let me see. I don't actually remember if KvCORE has a county.
Well, not necessarily the county, but if anything comes up in that section that it didn't identify, I mean, do you go back to your...
Okay, so if I understand you properly, basically, if you do need that information for yourself and you would like KvCORE to have it on file, even though it doesn't have a field for it, is that what you're asking?
Right.
Yes, that's a great question. So if we scroll here, so I went back, there's a section right here for notes. Okay, so if we go under the notes section, I can click on here and actually choose a column that will be used to fill in notes for that client. Because there's no county section, I'm gonna go under notes here and then choose county. So now for every lead, the county column, whatever contents that has will be added as a note. So in this example, when I add these people under the note section, it'll have their counties. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
For sure. So you have that availability here too. Okay, so we're gonna go next. And then this is the last screen, and I'll take some more questions if anyone has any. This will show you an overview of all the contacts you're importing. So it says contacts to be imported 0. So you will not see this. The reason why it's telling me 0 is because I've already imported these contacts. And KvCORE is smart enough to know to not duplicate contacts. So you can't import the same thing twice. You can force it to, but by default, it will tell you these contacts are already in. We're not going to import them again. That's why it's saying 0 here. But if I hadn't already imported these contacts into my system, it would have 50 here instead. Okay, so down here it says contacts that will not be imported. So this field is 50 because all 50 of them are already in the system, so they will not be imported. And it'll tell you a quick reason down here why they will not be imported. So due to lack of essential information or lead duplication, this is why it's not working for me. But if I still wanted to import them anyway, you have a switch down here that will, if this is on, it will still add those contacts. But I will keep this off because I don't want those contacts 2 times in my system. Okay. And if you press these buttons here, you can actually view, whatever contacts it's referring to. So if only 2 was being imported, I can click here and it'll show me those 2. If all 50 were not being imported, I can view here to see all the contacts that are not being imported, and it'll have a reason section. So all of these are duplicates, which makes sense. Down here, search alert. Okay, so a lot of you guys could utilize this to actually basically hit the ground running. So as you're importing all these contacts, you can have KvCORE automatically add search alerts to those leads. So say all of these leads that we're importing are from LA County. Okay, because actually let me switch this on. No, it's still not going to give me the option. For you guys, this will not be grayed out. It's not letting me do this because I already have these contacts in my system. But you can add listing property alerts to all of these contacts at once. So by me clicking here, it would have opened up a window and asked me to choose a location or area. And you can have listing alerts set for all of these contacts for all the properties that come on the market in Los Angeles County. So whenever something new comes in Los Angeles County, KvCORE will automatically send them out, an email, which is really cool. So you can do that here under search alerts. Add a hashtag. This is very, very important. So whether you put something here or not, KvCORE will add a hashtag to all the leads you bulk import. Because right now we're bulk importing. We're not doing this one by one. So you can add a hashtag here. So I could say this is, sphere of influence. So hashtags can't have spaces in them. They have to be one, word. So really quickly, a hashtag is basically a way to, categorize your contacts. So if you want to go back later and only choose all these people you imported for whatever reason, you want to have a specific type of marketing for all those people you're just now importing, and you would like a way for you to select them really quickly. You can type in whatever hashtag you have on here, and it will find all of those people for you. So it's like a tag you put on all these people to be able to refer to them later, whenever you want. So whatever you want to put on here, that's up to you. You could put sphere of influence, you could put phone contacts, you could put whatever you want to code. But just know that it's a way for you to target these people and market to them very easily using that hashtag. So example, if in 2 days I want to send a hello, I'm a brand new agent, call me if you have any real estate needs, but only to these people I'm importing, I'm not going to go through each contact one by one and type out that email. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type out the email, and in the email composition little thing that pops up where you actually type your email, you can choose to send to hashtag. Okay, and by choosing the hashtag you just created, it will automatically send it out to anyone that has that hashtag. Okay, so that's what hashtags are, in a detailed explanation, if you will. So there you go. And once you type out whatever hashtag you want, press enter, and that will put it down here. So you can have that there. You can add multiple hashtags to different contacts. So you can have 2 hashtags. Maybe someone can be a sphere of influence and a first-time home buyer. Someone can also be a sphere of influence and a seller. So you could get really creative with these. So, but all of these for sure are sphere of influence. So I'm going to leave that in there. And then last but not least, we have add to campaigns. Campaigns are also a whole conversation to have on their own, and they're very, very important. But today I would just want to focus on, you getting started. You have your contacts imported. What should you, start doing? But campaigns, we already had meetings about that. I will continue to do so, but you can also add a smart campaign, marketing campaign to all these contacts immediately from here. Okay, so I created a campaign that's called, KvCORE's SOI campaign, Sphere of Influence campaign. And this campaign basically reminds me every 45 days to contact, whatever lead it's assigned to. So I'm never getting out of touch with that person. So you can create campaigns that do cool stuff like that. Okay, but we're not going to talk too much about that, but that's just what that means down here. So once you have all this set up and you click finish, all of those contacts will be imported into your KvCORE system. So that is brief. I know I didn't walk through exporting out of the phone. I think I'll do a meeting with that because it looks like a good chunk of you guys don't have your contacts imported. But this is what the process looks like after you get that file. Okay, so before I move on, is there any questions on what I did so far? Anything at all? There's no stupid questions.
Is this how you send out the mass emails about Tech Tuesdays?
Yes, and well, I use KvCORE, yes, but I don't do this every time I'm sending out well, I want to make sure I answer your question properly. So I send out the KvCORE reminders and stuff like that. Yes, using KvCORE, but I leverage hashtags. So whoever signs up using if you scan this QR code or type in the link and you sign up, you go into my KvCORE system and it will automatically add that hashtag to your contact. So whenever I'm sending out these reminders, all I have to do is just send to whatever that hashtag is, and it automatically goes to whoever has that hashtag.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so it's very, very powerful. So yes, that's how I do it. Okay, do we have any other questions? Are we experts in importing contacts somewhat? All right, okay. So I'm not gonna click finish because I already have these contacts. So we're gonna go back to the playbook. Okay, so I clicked here and I'm gonna go to gather your sphere again. We're gonna open the playbook. So this was the longest part of all this, honestly. Once you import your contacts, that's a one-time thing. Then you can start nurturing those leads. But yeah, once we're in the sphere, you can go through those steps by clicking get started. And to obtain that file, once again, I put the link to that video in the chat, and you guys can always email me, or we could do a one-on-one and actually get you to import your contacts. And you will also have this video later when I finish editing it. But this is step one, import your contact. Very, very important. Step two is we're gonna move down here. My mouse is right here. So once we import our contacts, what we can do is sometimes you have friends on social media that you don't necessarily have stored on your phone. So maybe you have them as friends on Facebook, Instagram, elsewhere, but they're not necessarily saved on your phone. So they might not pop up on the spreadsheet you're uploading to KvCORE. So KvCORE has a way for you to generate a link through which, if anyone clicks on that link that KvCORE generates for you, they will be able to basically sign up on your website so that KvCORE can add them to your system. Okay, so that's what I'm doing on this second section. So we just finished importing our sphere. Now we're here under Capture Social Media Sphere. So here we'll have two main sections. We have a market report squeeze page and we have a home valuation landing page. So these right here are basically where the link goes. So I'm gonna show you this in action. I'm gonna empty all these just so we start from scratch. So say I have 1,000 friends on Facebook. You know, some of them might or might not already be in my system. The great thing is, if someone clicks on this link that you already have in your system, KvCORE will know and will not re-add them. But let's say the 900 other contacts you don't have on your phone and not on KvCORE, and you want to capture those leads from Facebook, for example. What you can do is you can offer those people a market report in exchange for basically them signing up on your website. The way you would do that is, first, we need a location to provide the market report for. So let's say you operate in LA County, okay? Most of your leads, or you'll do most of your business in LA County. That's what I use. So you could come in here and just type Los Angeles. And as you type, you can just wait, it'll refresh, and you can choose the area of your choosing here in the dropdown. So let's say I want to provide a market report for Los Angeles County to anyone that clicks on this link. So I'm going to choose County Los Angeles. Okay. Once I do that, KvCORE is going to create this link for me right here that I can copy. You can select and copy, or just click the blue button here and it'll copy that. It'll give you this message to confirm that it's been copied. So through this link, anyone that clicks on that will get taken to my website, and they will have to log in, create an account, put their email and phone number. And once they submit that, it will show them this market report of Los Angeles, which is very powerful. So you're not just asking them for their information for free. You're giving them value in exchange. So it's an incentive. Okay, but before I show you how that works, down here we also have hashtags yet again. So like we talked about, hashtags are a way to, categorize people and target them later on down the line. So let's say everyone you're importing through this link, you would want them to have a specific hashtag. So maybe that hashtag could be the same thing. It could be sphere of influence, because, most likely you have people in your sphere of influence on Facebook. You could click add. I clicked add right here, right next to hashtags. And then here you can type in whatever hashtag you want that to be. So I could use the same thing, sphere of influence. And as you type, it'll show you the hashtags you already have. Looks like I never created this one before. So I'll just type it out, sphere of influence. Okay, there it is. So I'll click on it and it'll add it down here, and it'll give you a message down here just to make sure, you know it's been successfully added. So if I click save, it'll generate yet again a new link. But now if you notice down in the hashtags section, we have sphere of influence also. So that tells me anyone that clicks on this link, gets taken to my website and signs up, they will have this hashtag automatically added to them, which is very powerful, because if you then go back and you want to send out a marketing email to everyone in your system that has this hashtag, well, guess what? You won't have to go back to them and add this hashtag, because this link would have done all the work for you. And your marketing message will go automatically to them. So now that we have that added, and of course you can add multiple hashtags. It doesn't have to be just that one. You can add multiple, but I'll take this off and save. So now I can copy this link. And let's say, for the sake of this example, you want to post this on Facebook, get all your friends to, check out a market report of Los Angeles County. But little did they know, once they click on the link, you'll be asking for their emails. So we're going to click on, I just clicked on Facebook right here. So this is a quick link to Facebook. So once you click on this, it'll open up a new tab. And if you're already logged into Facebook on the device you're doing this on, it'll come to this page right away. It'll have you logged in, and it'll have, your website. It'll have this nice thumbnail already made for you, free real estate market report for Los Angeles County, just like we programmed it to do. If you're not logged in, you'll have, pop-up that says log in to Facebook. So very simple, straightforward, log in, and then it will take you here. So on here, you can say something like, hey, if you, want a free market report, click the link below. And obviously you want to make it sound nice, and you're probably talking to your friends since you're posting this on your Facebook. So you can just put something nice here. If you want a free market report, click on the link below. Okay, so if you post this, that'll go on your page. Let's see if there's a way for me to post this actually anonymously. So I'm actually going to post this. So I'll press only me. Yep. So we're going to create post to Facebook, and then that will go on your Facebook feed. And I'm sure most of us have posted something on Facebook before. So hopefully that's not something we're unfamiliar with. So just like that, I've posted that to my Facebook. Okay. So if I was to copy this and simulate someone clicking on that link on my Facebook profile, I'm gonna paste that link in the chat. I mean in the search field. So when someone clicks on that link, they will get taken right here. Okay, and it'll say, please register to view a market report for Los Angeles County. So they're gonna have to put their email. They're gonna have to put, you know, KvCORE will say put your phone number as a password. So they'll put their phone number on here too. And then once they click continue, let me actually do this so you guys can see. So I'm signing up as myself. So I'll click continue and then check this out. It's gonna load. Hopefully it doesn't do that forever. There you go. So KvCORE is going to create this page with the market report for Los Angeles. So they get to see all this cool information, but now they have been added to your system and they actually get logged in up top here. So as you can see, it says my name because I'm signed in as myself, and they get to see all this cool info. They can click through, you know, other properties on your website. And at this point, whatever they do will be logged on your website. So I just clicked on this property right here, and when I log into my KvCORE 15-20 minutes from now, it'll say this lead clicked on this property. So I get to see the actions people are taking on my website too. It's very powerful. But the whole point is to capture the contact. Okay, so this is what that does. In the same exact way down here, instead of offering a market report, you can offer a home valuation page where they can go and actually type in their property address, and then KvCORE will calculate an estimate of what their property is worth. So they can also get that. Okay, so you have that at your disposal as well. Same concept. You can make sure to click on your domain. So if you click here, you should see only one website. Unless you're in a team, you'll see two different websites. Okay, so just click on your domain. It should be the only option. And then you can click on Facebook to do the exact same thing. Let's do it so we can see. So there you go. It'll say, what's your home worth? And you can type something on top of it too, you know, make it nice. And once you post it, people who click on it, so it'll actually also give you the link here. So if I copy this link and we put that in the web browser, this is where they will be taken. They could put their property address in here, and then let's try 123 Main Street. Once they put their address, they'll get taken to your website yet again, and voila, they will be able to see a valuation for 123 Main Street. Okay, looks like this address is maybe not a house. So that's why I'm not seeing more details, but there you go. And in this way also you do capture their information. And if you see down here, all this is your stuff. This is your website, your photo, your biography, and your website. Okay, so very powerful stuff. So through here, I'm going to close all this stuff. So through here, this gives you a way to capture leads on social media as well. Okay, so this is the import section. This is how you get everyone into the system. Very important, because without leads in the system, you have no one to market to. Okay, before I move on to the other sections, is there any questions on what I did? Looking good? Okay, okay. All right, so we're running out of time here, so I'm going to go through these remaining sections. Those are very quick. So next up, the next play we have is create sphere contact hashtags. I'm going to click on that, and basically what this means is in this section right here, KvCORE is allowing you to create hashtags. So we can create as many different hashtags here as we want based on the contacts we just imported. Okay, it doesn't have to be just on the ones we imported. It could be all the contacts we have. But let's say those 50 contacts I just imported, I have, they're all sphere of influence. Because we've already created that hashtag, I can just type in here, sphere of influence. Actually, no, I had a hashtag already made. It's called fake contacts. So let's do that. So fake contacts right here, if I select that, now this section basically, you can create as many hashtags as you want. So within the contacts I imported, maybe I had, first time homebuyers. Maybe I also had sellers, You can create as many different hashtags as you want here. And then once you have all the different hashtags you want to add, you can click save and continue. And then on this next page is where you can add people in those hashtags you just created. But if they already have the hashtag, by default, they will already be included within that hashtag or sphere group. So hashtag and sphere group are the same thing, so don't be confused. When you see sphere group, it means a hashtag. So I already had 50 people within the fake contacts hashtag, so that's why it says 50 here. But if I was to click on next hashtag here, it's going to move to the next hashtag that we created. So this one's called first time HB homebuyer. So if I want to add people to this hashtag, I could type their name here. Type John Doe, and then see, now John Doe will get added to first time homebuyer. If I want to add Alvina, boom, now Alvina is added to that hashtag, and you can move on to all the hashtags you created and add people to them. Okay, but I'm just gonna keep going with that one hashtag I made, so I'm gonna remove these two right here. So we're just gonna keep going with fake contacts. Okay, so now this tells me I have 50 people within this hashtag already. If I want to add more, I can type their name. If I want to add another hashtag to this hashtag, which is a little bit more complex. So let's say I have a hashtag that's called test, and I want everyone that has the test hashtag to be added to this new hashtag I made. I can also do so. Okay, so you have plenty of flexibility here. And save filters. Save filters are also a whole other thing. Briefly, is just a way to, instead of finding people through hashtags, you can filter through people through, filters. You can tell KvCORE, hey, give me all the people that have a phone number but no email and are, in my sphere of influence. So you can create presets like that to target people also. Okay, but maybe we'll get into that in another thing. But hashtags are the main focus. So once you have people in your hashtag and you've added all the people you want, if you followed so far exactly what I did, you won't have to put anything here. Okay, so it'll automatically say all those people are within your hashtag. So I'm going to click save and continue. And then we'll go to the next play, which is alerts and automation. Okay, we're almost done here. So here you have the option to select behavior, to enable behavior alerts for those contacts. So up top right here, anything that's switched on, so if active, lead, client, closed, archived, etc., these are all the types of contacts you have in the system. So anything that's turned on right here, this is going to happen for them, these behaviors. So just as an example, I'm going to switch everything off just to illustrate what this means. I want to make sure you guys understand properly. So all the contacts I just imported, they're part of my sphere of influence. Okay, so if I select sphere here, that means any contact that has a status of sphere, the following will happen. Okay, so if this contact that's a sphere revisits my website after 14 days, so this means they've checked out my website once, but then 14 days later or more, they revisit my website, KvCORE will send this email and this text. And you can click preview here and it'll actually show you what that looks like. It'll say, hey, whoever's name it is, I'm glad you were able to spend a bit of time on my site again, etc., etc. So KvCORE does all this automatically for you. It'll also send a text that says this: thanks for visiting our site. Are you focused on any specific areas? So KvCORE will try to start conversation with those people automatically for you. You won't need to lift a finger for this. But if I don't want that to happen, I can switch it off. So as a start, I encourage you to just turn everything on. You want to talk to as many people as possible. So it doesn't matter what type of contact they are, just switch these on when you get started, because it starts that initial conversation with all your leads. Anyone that revisits your site, visit the site 5 times in the last week, people who viewed 5 properties in the last day, KvCORE will pick up on those patterns, and based on the behaviors you have turned on, it will automatically send out these preset messages. And if you want to get a little bit more advanced and hands-on, you can actually edit those messages that get sent out, and you can add your own, information. Okay, but to not put too much work, on yourself, I would just leave the ones that are there. They're fine as is. But this is what this section means: behavior alerts. Next up, if we save and continue, we have events. So maybe some of the people you're importing on your spreadsheet, maybe you actually had birthdays also. Okay, so KvCORE will remember people's birthdays and automatically send them, happy birthday messages or happy anniversary messages. So if you have those in the system, I still encourage you to turn everything on, and whenever it's someone's birthday, KvCORE will send them happy birthday from your favorite realtor in the world. So that shows that you kind of remember, even though KvCORE is the one that remembers these birthdays for you. And it's a nice touch. It was my birthday on the 14th, and KvCORE sent me happy birthday because I forgot I had myself on the system. So that was nice to see. And that reminds me that, hey, this person's an agent, even though it's my birthday. So this is what this section's for. You have one for anniversaries and one for birthdays. Okay. Next up. And so this is the Gather Your Sphere playbook. Okay, this is the most time consuming part because this is where you're importing all your contacts, setting up all the alerts. So once you have all that done, you can move on to this one. So this is the one you're going to periodically click on and open up. And this is where you want to do your daily tasks, see what's going on, see all the data. Okay, this one is also very quick. So I'm going to open up Work Your Sphere. We're going to click Open Playbook. So this one is attached to that other playbook we just set up, the Gather Your Sphere. So once you finish with Gather Your Sphere, then you can start using this. It's very, very easy and very simple to use. So up here, the first place says fill in the gaps. So basically what this does is on the right-hand side, it will filter through all the contacts you imported already. And if there's any missing information, on this play up here, fill in the gaps and contacts. So it looks like Amy, I don't have a birthday set for her, and I don't have an anniversary date set up for her. So on this page, if I knew Amy's birthday, let's say Amy's birthday is November 14th, if I click here, I can set that automatically here, and I can switch it on so that Amy gets alerts every 14th of every November. If I know Amy's anniversary, I can also do that and, get that going. And you can skip through all the contacts. It'll tell you all the contacts that have missing information. So it looks like it's the same for all these text contacts, birthday and anniversary. So you can come through here periodically as you add more people to the system and add more people to this hashtag, and they will populate here, and you can fill in those details when you do, find those details. And then next up, we can go to capitalize on sphere. So this is the very big one, the important one that you do want to know. So this will load up here. So on display, capitalize on sphere opportunities. Here, if this basically shows you all the different opportunities you have as far as the contacts you've imported. So for fake contacts, which is the sphere we created or the hashtag we created, it looks like 50 out of 50, because there's 50 within here, 50 of them do not have a campaign set up. So this page is amazing because it tells me how many people have, campaign set up, alert set up, or market report set up. And ideally, you do not want to see anything above 0 here. You want to make sure everyone is set up with a campaign, everyone is set up with a search alert, or everyone set up with a market report. So that way, all of your leads are being nurtured. So when you get started with KvCORE and you come up to the step, if you don't know what a campaign is just yet, you can skip that and you can always come back to it. But let's say I want all 50 of these people within my hashtag to have the sphere of influence campaign that I made. So I can select that here and then click add campaign. And now all those 50 people automatically have that smart campaign assigned to them. Let's say, they may or may not have search alerts. So on here, it'll say 6 contacts do not have a search alert, but we do have an address in the system for them. So if I click here on create search alert, KvCORE is going to create a search alert, which is basically periodic emails of listings that come on the market that fit a certain criteria, and it will email that to them, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. It's up to you. So you can set that up for contacts here. And out of those 50, it looks like 44 do not have a search alert and do not have an address. So for those people, even though I don't have an address on file like the 6 up here it says, I can send a generic search alert. Okay. And if I click on this, it'll open up a window where I can choose what that generic area is. So if I still want it to be Los Angeles, I could just type that in and we could do, Los Angeles County. And if I press done, all of those people will be enrolled in search alerts for that location, for Los Angeles County. And I can choose the type of listing I want to include there. So it could only be single family, townhouses, maybe land, or if you want to remove some, you could just click the X, and very easy. Okay. So you have that opportunity here as well. You can start doing this right after you upload your contacts. Next up, market reports, which are also very important. If these contacts are not necessarily buyers, maybe they're sellers, they kind of want to know what's going on in their market and their surrounding. So you can also set them up with market reports. Just like the search alert section, it'll tell you, hey, 6 contacts don't have a market report, but there is an address in the system for them. So you can create a market report for those people based on the address you have on file for them. So it'll be specifically made to them. And then down here it says 44 out of those 50 contacts don't have a market report, and I don't have an address for them in the system either. So you can, just like we did up here with the generic search alerts we set up, we can create a generic market report also, and then choose a zip code, area, or whatever. Type in something here. Again, I just like to do LA County because 90% of where I do business is in LA County. So you can create a market report for LA County for those people that don't have an address on file just yet. And it's important to know, as you communicate with these leads, at some point you'll probably know what their address is or their general area, and you can always go back to them, add an address, and then have that market report be just their area, so it's more personalized. Okay, so this is my favorite section of the playbooks. You can always come back here. Let's say 3 weeks down the line, instead of 50, now I end up having 75 contacts. If I log on here, it will tell me now those people don't have a campaign, they don't have a search alert, and through this playbook, I can set them up with all that. Instead of going individually in the contacts, this acts as a great place to do so very easily. Okay, so this capitalize on sphere opportunities is very, very helpful when you get started on KvCORE. Okay, we just have these remaining, so let's get through this. Once you're done with that, here, this is another very big one that you need to learn and start using when you import your contacts. My favorite source of leads is actually my sphere of influence because it's the easiest. It's an easy win. You can get in touch with all these people because you already talked to them at some point. They know you. And even if they're not looking to buy, you can always call them later down the line and, re-ask the question or re-engage with them. Unlike cold calling, which is still another source of, leads, that's fine. But once you call someone and that you don't know and they don't want to do business or they're not interested, it's going to be a tougher conversation when you call them back again, because then you're that annoying agent that keeps calling. So it's not as good of an experience. So that's why I love sphere of influence. And through here, you'll get this nice column. It'll do 20 contacts at most for you every single day. So it'll say last contacted over 90 days ago. So when you import all your contacts, by default, obviously you never contacted them. But on here, it'll show you a batch of 20 contacts that you've not reached out to over the past 90 days. This is a great area to log on and actually go to every day, because what you could do is once you log on here, you can just go through each of these people, search them up on your phone, and then just call them. So if I was to call Amy, get her news, maybe she's looking to move soon or maybe not, log that interaction, and then now you talk to Amy. Okay, so once you do, KvCORE will automatically know that you talk to Amy, and Amy will be removed from here. Okay, or you can go through this. If I call Amy, I can uncheck, call Alicia, uncheck, etc. You could do 20 of these every single day through maybe a text, an email, maybe a phone call. Okay, and if you really want to be hands off as much as possible in this process, if you look on the right side, you can send canned messages. So by default, all of these guys will be checked, right? So if I click email, KvCORE will automatically email all of these contacts that are checked this message. Hi, just checking in. Do you have any real estate related things I can help with right now? And boom, that's that clock reset. Now, you haven't contacted them in 90 days. Just with the click of a button, you can send this to them in an email or a text. If you want to type out your message, manually, you can go to other options here. You can click email and you can type that email, or you can click text and also do that. Okay, you could drop a voicemail. I think this is a paid feature, and also the video one's a paid feature. But I encourage you to log on to this section of the playbook. Just do this every single day. Make sure you're keeping in touch with your sphere of influence. Okay, there are ways to decrease this frequency to maybe increase the frequency. I like to do mine every 45 days instead of 90, but maybe 90 is the sweet spot for whatever works for you, or maybe every other quarter. It's up to you, but as long as you're keeping in touch, that's the most important part. Okay, follow up. So you can do that here. Okay, and then next up, very quickly, we have the life events list. I don't use this, but I think it's a neat feature. You can create different lists of people that had major life events. So by clicking here, it'll take you right here. And let's say it'll ask you a few questions. Do you know anyone that's recently married? So if you know anyone that got recently married, you can type in their name here. Let's type John Doe, just for an example. John Doe. Or anyone, it doesn't matter. John Doe. Okay, you can start adding people to this list. And then you can click next. Do you know anyone who recently had a baby? Do you know anyone that recently changed jobs? So basically, by adding people under these lists, once you do all that and you click save and continue, KvCORE will basically remind you every year. It basically sets that date as an anniversary. Okay, so every year, before, on, or the day after that date, it'll say, hey, it's been 1 year since Tiffany had a baby. It's been 2 years since John changed jobs. So that's another way you can reach out to people and have some type of context. Like you can call, hey John, it's been a while. It's been about like 2 years now. How's your new job going? So you're gonna say, oh well, everything's going fine. How about yourself? Well, I'm an agent. I sell homes now and I help people buy homes. You use that as a way to reach out to people and just plug your services there, and who knows? Now he made enough money and maybe he can get pre-qualified and buy a new home, So that's what the life event list section is about. Okay. And if I skip all the way to the end of all these questions, you can actually create your own life event. So, not all of us have the same, types of life events. Maybe you have a specific holiday or a specific type of event that's important to you and your friends and family. You could create, Dog Day, So if any of your friends have dogs and they got their dog, today, you can add them onto this list. And then every year you can say, it's been a year since you got, the dog. How's everything going? And KvCORE will remind you of all this. So you won't need to always come here, even though you can. Okay, almost there. Almost last but not least, if I go to dial your lists here, KvCORE will enable you to, so for this feature, this section, dial your list, you will need your phone because you can use the dialer that's on the phone app. Okay, so it looks like, oh, my computer's about to die. We're almost done. If you don't have the KvCORE app, you can download that onto your phone. And through here, you can actually use the dialer. KvCORE will send a notification to your phone and you can dial specific lists. So that's that section. I'm not going to go too in depth on here because it does require the Open House app. But this is the last section. So through here, very quickly, this is the section where you can manually send emails to specific hashtags. Say you've done all this work and you want to send out a greeting message to everyone that has the fake contacts hashtag. Well, you can click on, send email to and then check contact with hashtags and you can type in that hashtag. So if I type this up here or any hashtag, let's actually do a hashtag I use. So this is the hashtag I use to send you guys emails. So here I can type out whatever I want. Let's say you could choose an email template. That's something we'll also talk about later. But KvCORE has a bunch of different templates you can use. You can choose your preferred one here or maybe one you've already made. You can type out a subject. Hello, this is just a test. And then by doing this, you can just click send email. And this email will be sent out to everyone that has that hashtag attributed to their name, which is pretty awesome. So you do the work once and then you can repeat and recycle forever. So that is how to send out mass emails to all those people. And then finally, lastly, we've already seen this. This is just that same section where you can post market report links to social media or home valuation links to social media. Okay, so through here you can create links to those. And there we have it. This is the playbook. So I'm going to close this. To sum it all up, using the playbooks, you can periodically reach out to contacts by checking who you haven't talked to in the past 90 days. You can create links to social media so that people can be added to your system. You can also create lists, with major life events, plenty of cool stuff. So that's a great next step to take right after importing contacts onto your system. And that was a lot of info, but hopefully we got a better understanding of what playbooks are and you have actionable steps to take right after you import those contacts. Okay, and that is, oh yeah, we went over by a little bit, but that's pretty much everything. Do we have any questions about everything I just did there? Anything at all? Everyone's looking good. Man, we're really KvCORE specialists at this point. Awesome. So this was playbooks. Again, all of this stuff is recorded. You can rewatch this. I'll have the link up and send it out to all of you guys. Let's see here. Yeah, that was pretty much it all. So do we have anything, even though it's not a question, any comments, anything at all?